Okay, I'm just on my way to get some durian. We just got a call yesterday from a friend of ours who lives up the coast, about 4 hours away, that they had an excess of durian, so they're selling them to us. This is not the first time that we bought loads from them. We do so every year or so, really. We kind of have a little fund that we save up because we know we're going to spend heaps of money on durian once the season comes in. So we have this little kitty that we put aside, and when the durian's ready, we get out there and buy it, and we don't kind of like think about it too much, how much it's going to cost. We just buy what we need to get, what we want to get, I should say. So that's where I'm off to now. Just driving from home into Mariba to see what their score is, how much they've got, and how much it's going to put us back. I'll see you there. There we go. A durian haul for the year. Fully loaded up in the car. Boot full of it. It's not a snake bite, it's a durian bite. There we go. 100 kilograms of durian. How many? 100 kilograms of raw, fresh, local durian.
Hello everybody. Mango just came back.
Yeah.
And he brought the best fruit, our favorite fruit, durian.
Yeah, truckload of it, well, a bootload of it I should say. Yeah.
And I would like to say that this is special fruit to us, but we don't eat it every day. This is like treat. Because it's not easily available, but in a way we can get frozen from Asian shop, but this is fresh, that's different. Even when we freeze it, it's different. It's a local Australian durian. We don't know what kind of it. Maybe there are a few different kinds. I don't know, mango maybe.
I think mostly they're Montong. They're grown from seed. The grower is growing them all from seed, so none of the trees are grafted.
And it shows.
Yeah, it shows. They're very nice. As you can see, we've got a lot, but we won't be able to eat them all fresh, which is too much for us, for a little old us. So we open them up and take out the flesh and take out the seeds and then freeze a lot of them. And of course we'll eat a lot of it fresh too over the coming days, but most of it will get frozen. And then every now and again we'll take a bit out of the freezer as a treat for ourselves. Yeah.
It's always special.
It's always special,
exciting times when we have a durian. And we used to eat much more durian in the past. We used to eat quite a bit. We used to eat like 3 durians between us in one sitting, maybe even 4.
Oh, it would...
Depends on the size. But,
Yeah, no, you're right. We could get through a lot of durian, but over the years, especially since I moved here, the price of durian has skyrocketed. So whereas once upon a time, I think
$3.
Krita was buying it for $3 a kilo before I came here, and when I came here it was $6. It doubled in price, and it's just gone up and up, and now the minimum you pay is like $30 a kilogram, which is outrageous. It is outrageous.
Outrageous because it's rare, and people who have durian, they just want it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just life on this planet. It's just how it goes. Durian have a bad name by a lot of people. I think most of the world believe durian stinks. But it's not true. Durian does actually stink, but not to everybody. Durian stink only to people who can't eat it. Even the taste for them, this is very interesting, and no fruit I know of have this property. Because I tried with 2 friends, and they will say it smells like rotten onion, or old socks, or suya, and they would be still curious anyway to taste it because they could see. For me, it was very special. And they would have a little tiny taste and they say, yuck. Yeah, it tasted terrible to them. Like, one friend said, like rotten onions.
Yeah, old socks, rotten onions. Yeah, but, I mean, you're going...
But for people like us, who can eat it, and to us, durian, it's the most beautiful, sweet smell.
Yeah.
It's just such a beautiful aroma.
Yeah.
And the taste is also out of this world.
Yeah, I think, as Greta said, a lot of people, they do find the smell offensive, and generally the people that find it offensive won't like the taste, but there are exceptions actually. I've met people that found the smell offensive but still like to eat the fruit. So it does really depend on you. But I believe that the reason why people find its odour to be offensive is because they're internally toxic. I think that's the reason why, because as we've explained in other videos, your taste buds change over time, and once you the smell of the durian should be appealing to you. If it's not appealing, I think then you've still got some cleansing to do.
Yeah, well, I don't agree with this 100% because my mother was here. She was very toxic and she loved the durian. And she called it white chocolate.
Yeah.
She loved it.
No, but you're gone.
So I don't think it's a really rule of the thumb that everybody who eat.
No, but I'm not saying that either. I'm saying that you can be internally toxic and find it appealing too, but in order to not find it appealing, then inside you're going to be dirty. So you can be toxic internally and you can find the smell either appealing or unappealing. But if you are clean inside, you will only find it appealing.
Okay, tell us if there is some raw fruitarian or even a raw food person who's doing it for a long time and found durian offensive, the smell of it.
Yeah.
Please let us know, because I'm not sure. I can't bet on that. I can't say for sure it's the rule.
No, I'm more confident. I feel like it is the rule. But by all means, if there's anybody out there who's been doing raw food or eating fruit for a long time, and you find the smell of durian to be offensive, then let us know, because I am also curious to know if that's always the case. So yeah, we both love this smell. But
yeah, and the fruit durian is also making problems in society because of this. So like when we went to Thailand, for example, you can't take it to the hotels, buses, public transport and stuff. And once what we done,
we smuggled some into a bus that we took, and the bus owner knew that somebody had it. It was a little bus. He knew that somebody had it, but nobody was going to confess up to it.
Yeah, he said, who have the stinker here? Like that. He even stopped the bus. And he said, who have a stinker here? Get out of the bus. And we just sit there.
Not me.
So we lied.
No, it's a very special fruit for us. And as I said, we will treat ourselves every now and again. And because it's so expensive, we put a little bit of money aside whenever we can. And we save up for it all year, and then we just say, this is our durian kitty, and it all goes on durian, and we do that every year, or
Yes.
maybe not every year, but I think because it's been 2 years since last time.
Yeah, we don't do it every year,
No.
that's true. Because, I don't know why.
Well, they're not always available, and we only get it when we're offered it, really, because we don't go seeking
That's
it.
why we
So
don't seek it. That's
when
why.
somebody says, "Here, we got durian, do you want it?" We'll say yes. Why not? We'll take it off your hands. Yeah.
Definitely.
So, do you want to try it?
That's true. Yeah, pass me the bowl a bit closer. I'm here in the back.
Yeah.
So you've seen the durian mango show you
Yeah,
how to
yeah.
before. So
And
here is a piece.
yeah,
It's a soft, it's creamy, it's delicious.
it is. And our whole house has got this beautiful durian aroma in it at the moment everywhere. In fact, once you sort of get used to it, you don't even notice it. But if you go out in the garden and come back in again, it's like, this beautiful aroma.
And this is true, once you're in it, after a while you
forget, you don't know,
you don't sense it. It has a lot of amazing, like, unexplainable to me properties.
Yeah.
And when I was little child, I felt often I'm missing something. There is something missing in my life. And when I ate durian, first time, I somehow knew that's it. No, that's interesting.
It's a really perfect baby food, it really is.
Baby food.
It's just so delicious. I find it very difficult to describe how they taste because you can't really compare it to
anything.
Other foods, but it tastes very creamy and sweet, but not sickly sweet.
It's have a lot of different
flavors. Yeah.
That's another magic thing about it.
Yeah.
Magical thing about it.
So, you want to say more?
Well, we hope you like this little durian video.
Durian actually doesn't grow well where we are because the climate is too dry. We did have 2 trees, one of them died maybe 2 years ago. We've got one tree which is still alive. He's maybe 1.5 meters tall, and I'm sure he's already 8 years old. So he
should be already grown.
Yeah, if he was grown in a correct climate, he would already be giving us fruit by now. But because we're in the wrong environment, I'm surprised that he's still alive and that he's still growing. He grows maybe 2 or 3 inches every year.
Must be strong seed, strong.
Yeah, so he's doing okay. So maybe one day, in 40 years' time, somebody, whoever's living here, might get some fruit from him, but you never know.
Or maybe we're still here in 40 years.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
I always say, if people who eat everything, some of them live well over even 100 years.
Yeah.
If we don't have some accident or somebody doesn't kill us, like, why shouldn't we?
Yeah.
We don't have any serious, we don't have a health problems, like, there is no diabetes or cancer or any of those things.
No pill popping.
There is nothing of those. We never go to have an operation.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people much younger than us, they have operations with things, with their body organs, and so on. So anyway, glory to durian if you love it, and I feel really sorry for people who their body doesn't accept it because it's true big yumminess. One big yumminess. So we love you, we leave you, and till next time, and we hope you know how love is important in our lives, in everybody's lives. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, počkej, I have to give you a kiss.